What's up, everybody? It's me, Chris, back at you once again. Got to finish off my UFC 90 undercard picks. Took a lot of time doing the main card, and I'll probably take a few minutes here doing the undercard. Like I said before, this card is stacked, so let's get to it. Alright, first off, Talis Lades versus Drew McFedries. Lades was supposed to fight Goran Relic, but unfortunately Relic got injured, so we got Ladies versus McFedries. Talis is coming off the decision win over Nathan Marquardt. If you saw that fight, he got his ass whooped, but Marquardt got some points deducted, so Ladies ended up getting the decision. But he didn't look like a winner at the end of the fight, if you ask me. But anyways, McFedries, he's coming off a first round submission loss to Mike Macenzio. Didn't see the fight, but I heard he got schooled pretty quickly once it was on the mat. Not surprised. McFedries is a banger. I like the way he fights, but word is he doesn't train much for the ground because he hates it. And apparently it looked like that against Macenzio. McFedries has two big problems here in this fight. One, like I said, he doesn't like to train on the ground game, thus his submission defense is pretty horrible. And second of all, he's taking this fight on last minute, notice. So he didn't really have time to establish a game plan for Ladies. Basically, Ladies' game plan is going to be to get him to the ground and submit him. Ladies is a better submission fighter than Macenzio, way better credentials. So, plan for Ladies should be get in there, try not to get hit with one of McFedries' bombs, take him to the ground, and submit him in the first round. That's the way I see it going. I'm going to go with Ladies by first round submission. McFedries can win if he catches Ladies with the punch. But usually when you have a striker versus a grappler, usually the grappler wins. Not always. Depends on their level of fighting and whatnot. But I'm going to go with Ladies by first round submission here. Next up, we got Spencer Fisher against Shannon Gugerty. Unfortunately, it was supposed to originally be Spencer Fisher versus Melvin Guillard, which would have been a sick fight. Both guys like to stand for the most part. Would have been exciting. Melvin's one of my favorite fighters. But he got caught up in some more BS outside the cage. Some disputes with a probation violation or something. I don't know. Melvin's always screwing up, unfortunately. So Gugerty's coming in on this to take the fight. Gugerty's coming off a submission win over Dale Hart. Didn't see the fight. To be honest, don't know much about Gugerty. Fisher's coming off the decision win over Jeremy Stevens, which was a pretty good fight. That was on a UFC, I believe, maybe a fight night. Like I said, I don't know much about Gugerty, but so I'm going to go with Spencer Fisher. Spencer's got a lot of experience, a lot of fights. He's not too good on the ground, but that's mostly when facing guys that are like good wrestlers, like against Frank Edgar, who dominated him. But Gugerty, I don't think he's that type of a fighter. I think he prefers the ground, but I don't think he's got like a huge advantage against Fisher and getting him there. So I'm going to go with Spencer by decision. Spencer can finish him, but haven't seen anything in Gugerty to know whether or not how he'll respond, to punches, kicks, whatever. Spencer usually offers, so I'm just going to go with Spencer by decision here. Should be a pretty good fight, though. Spencer usually makes for good fights unless he's fighting a wrestler. Next up, we got Matt Horowitz against Dan Miller. These are both guys making their debuts, I believe, in the UFC. Both guys former IFL veterans. Horowitz is coming off the TKO win over Benji Radek, where he won the IFL 185-pound title. Miller, I don't even know who he fought last. I believe he fought Ryan McGivern in the IFL, and I believe he won that fight. Horowitz was supposed to originally fight Ricardo Almeida in this fight, but as with many other fights on this card, Almeida got injured, so it's going to be Horowitz versus Miller. Don't know if you guys know much about Horowitz, but very interesting character, very much into Christianity and God and stuff. If you hear any of his pre-fight interviews or just him talking in general, very spiritual guy, very interesting character, somewhat similar to Evan Tanner, in a very different kind of attitude towards fighting and life. But he's an interesting guy. I kind of like, I may not have the same religious views as him, but I think he's an interesting character for the UFC. Definitely different from most of the fighters out there. I haven't seen much of Dan Miller. I believe I saw a couple of his fights in the IFL. Horwich is he's a pretty good all-around fighter. Can be inconsistent at times. I'm gonna go with Miller by decision, but this is basically a 50-50 fight. It's just sometimes, I don't know, Horwich, sometimes he looks impressive, other times not so much. So this is just another like with my Maynard Clementi pick, just calling it a hunch. But this fight could go either way. But I'm gonna go with Miller by decision. Next up, we got Hermes Franca against Marcus Aurelio. Another fight where someone got injured. Hermes was supposed to fight Gleason Tibau. He got injured. Marcus Aurelio from the same team, American Top Team, taking the fight. This should be a good fight because it's going to be a grudge match. Hermes used to train at ATT, left on bad terms. I believe Aurelio used to be his jiu-jitsu coach there, as a matter of fact. Word is the guys don't like each other. I believe that Aurelio has more resentment towards Hermes than vice versa, but the ATT, the American Top Team, I heard all those guys don't like Hermes at this point. This is kind of hard to call. Both these guys are coming off losses. Aurelio lost to Griffin, Tyson Griffin, that is. Hermes lost to, who was it? Let me think. Hermes lost to, was it Frank Edgar? Maybe? I think maybe it was Frank Edgar. And they both lost on decisions. Aurelio, if Franca was his jiu-jitsu coach, obviously he's got the advantage there. The guys know each other, so it could make for either a boring fight because they know each other's styles, or it could make for an exciting fight because I said of the resentment factor, or the, just the disagreement that they have with each other for whatever the reasons, personal that is though. I'm gonna go with Franca, even though Aurelio has, like I said, may have the better jiu-jitsu. Franca has the better overall skills. He's much better standing. Not that he's great there, but he's got more power in his punches, and he just has a little bit better technique, even though he just swings his punches. It's probably going to be pretty much a stalemate when the fight hits the ground, which usually in the UFC will lead to a stand-up, where, like I said, Hermes has the advantage in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Hermes by decision. And all I know is the winner of this fight is probably out of the UFC, so Aurelio, especially with the money Aurelio's making on his contract, so he better win, otherwise he's gone, in my opinion. Last fight on the card, we got Josh Berkman versus Pete Sell. Berkman's coming off the loss, the 6 armbar loss to Dustin Hazlett. I don't know if you guys saw that fight, but it was a sick move that Hazlett finished him off with. Sell's coming off a loss over a year ago to Nate Quarry. Exciting stand-up fight. Actually, that was a really good fight. It was on a fight night. It led off the telecast. But that was a year ago. This is going to be Pete Sell's first fight at 170. Obviously, he's dropping down because he had no success at 185 in the UFC. To be honest, he hasn't really had much success in the UFC at all. 1-4 in the UFC. He lost his last 3. I'm surprised he's even still fighting in the UFC. Maybe he's because he's good friends with Matt Serra. He does make for exciting fights, Sell, but he's just not very successful, unfortunately. The only fight he won was his debut against Phil Baroni, which was years ago. Let's see. Sell's a jiu-jitsu guy, but he likes to stand. Berkman's a wrestler. He'll stand and trade some too. I'm going to go with Berkman by decision. Berkman's style is being a wrestler. Probably put Sell down. Sell's a jiu-jitsu guy, but I've never seen him really use it to much effect in the UFC. And standing, Sell may have a little bit better technique, but I think Berkman's got more power. So they're probably pretty much even there. And if Sell does get the better of Berkman on the feet, Berkman will just take him down and grind him out. So I'm going to go with Berkman by decision. That's pretty much it. Like I said, this card, stacked overall, definitely going to be worth the money in my opinion. I don't see any way it disappoints. Hopefully we'll get some of these undercard fights televised. The more fights we get to see, the better. That's it for now, y'all. I'm out of here. Feel free to drop a comment. Talk about the fights. If you have any disagreements, whatever, let me know. I'll probably hit you guys up Sunday with my afterthoughts after watching the fights. Till then, once again, I'm out.